Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Spooked Coast to Coast.
Hey guys,
Welcome everyone to the show. Hey, I'm so glad we were able to make it. Jenny and I, we rushed from 4 hours away just to be able to get here. But we're glad we were able to make it.
no joking.
Babe, how was that trip to Orlando? We went to MegaCon. How was it? Did you enjoy it?
Yes, I did. Thank you.
Awesome.
we saw Bill Slevin and his team is from PERS down here, also in Florida. Another major team in Florida.
Well, Bill was actually one of our most viewed episodes for last year.
Yeah.
So we had the chance to get to hang out with him, and it was an awesome time.
In his crew, we met Joe Frank, which is longtime member and investigator that used to work with the Warrens, Ed and Lorraine Warren. So it was good hearing his backstory, listening to his panel, met his beautiful wife, Laurel. And also got to catch up with Tom, who's also on the PERS team, which I didn't know that until yesterday.
Yeah.
And he has a podcast. It's, wait for it.
Stuff I learned.
No, because I'm always gonna say it wrong. Stuff I didn't learn. Damn it, boy. Where is your stuff? I just had it on here. Hold on, guys. Stuff I never learned from a school book. There you go.
There you go. See, I knew I had the first three words down.
Yeah.
So we met Tom. We met someone that we've had the chance to investigate with before. His name's Rob. Yes. We met Brittany. Hey, Brittany. We got to meet a lot of the good folks from PERS. Bill's wife, V, as well.
Yes.
An amazing person. She's awesome. Got to see like all the cool peeps from that were out at MegaCon. So if you all happen to watch this show, 305 Paranormal sends their love to you guys. It's an amazing trip. So looking forward to doing that again some other time.
Yes. I want to say hi, Ashley, Limestone, Jesse, and Minay. Thank you for being here. Hello. Sunday. Yes. I know a lot of people will catch the playback.
Thank you for either if you guys are watching us on the live, God bless you. If you're gonna watch us team rewatch, hey, I don't blame you.
Hey, I see 11 people on 12.
If I wasn't hosting the show right now, I'd probably be watching TV. But
what's up, Chidi?
I'm here now. So thank you guys for tuning in. Definitely do appreciate it.
Chidi.
Team rewatch also. Just don't forget to hit that like button.
Yes, and please subscribe to everyone's channel. I'm going to talk about our guests, Joy and Joy's channel. Hit them also. Like, subscribe, and comment. And our guests. You want to talk about our guests?
Yeah, I mean, this guy. I mean, he's the one that pretty much started us off.
Your internet's going on.
Online interviews.
Can you hear me? I can see you. I can hear y'all.
But yeah,
now I can. I don't know if it was our side or your side cutting out.
He's the reason that that we basically got into this. You know, like our very first time online talking about the paranormal was with this gentleman, and he's given us support and told us we should be doing this. So he's one of the people that helped inspire this show, you know, at least from our perspective. So, babe, why don't you tell the good folks a little bit about our friend Mike, aka Merle?
Yes, so we have Mike Morin, also aka known as Merle, on he co-hosts one time a month with Dave on We Own the Night Radio, and that's another huge radio show with, it's kind of about alien encounters, more cryptids and stuff like that. I'll have him explain. And he's based on the Pacific Northwest, so British Columbia, Canada. Confirmation,
Mike?
Yes?
Yes.
All right. And I'm happy that one of our good friends and long time we met through Instagram, Mike, Christy, and Philip from the Unknown Paranormal, they ended up hooking up and getting together, and apparently they live like 15 minutes away from each other, so that's awesome. and they've been investigating also as well now too. And Mike and Christy have been on our show, so good people. Everybody, amazing group of people.
Who would have known a couple from the 305 Miami, from the complete opposite corner of this continent,
legit,
would set up two people that live 15 minutes apart? Go figure.
Yeah, that's awesome. and also Mike, his channel, the Paranormal Road Trippers. Please go check them out. I have everything in the description box. I'm gonna let's bring them on. Let's bring them on.
Bring in Mike. What's up, buddy?
Hello.
There we go. I didn't realize that I helped you guys along with your radio journey. I'm honored. Thank you. That's awesome. Your show's great.
You are our first.
Yeah.
Dang.
Like, we first started with you, and we always remember that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome. You guys are awesome. Thank you for putting me in the hot seat now.
Yeah, we've been with you on your show on Paranormal Road Trippers, and we've also been on with you in your show with Dave.
Yeah.
So now it feels good to actually turn it all around full circle. Yes.
Yeah. So, in the description, let me read that real quick. You had mentioned that you had started off with your interest with the paranormal. You had encounters as a child, right? Let's start from there. Tell us what happened. How old were you? Was it an alien? Like, what's going on there?
No aliens here. I was a wee lad. No. My first encounter was probably when I was around 10, 11. I was homesick from school. I remember probably watching Sally Jesse Raphael or like something like that on TV, you know, Jerry Springer. And I'm laying on the couch, and I see this man. Like, I lived in a pretty nice house. It was like a 2-story house, and I saw this man in old like 1900s farmer attire, like brown pants, a cream color shirt with like brown suspenders, and like farmer man boots. He comes up the stairs and he just walks down the hallway. He had like long stringy hair. I'm like, oh damn. And this is like a 10, 11-year-old boy, right? And so I'm kind of freaked out. But all the doors were closed down the hallway, which made it even creepier, except for like the one crevice he could have hid in. But like, I got the testicular fortitude to go check and see if there was someone down the hallway, but there wasn't. So my neighbor was an RCMP member, a cop at the time. He wasn't home. It was his wife, and they were an older couple. Like, I think he was like retirement age, and she comes over with this tiny. Just picture an old grandma coming over with a can of pepper spray, and she cleared the house like SWAT. She went in all the rooms. She checked all the windows. Nothing was there. Nothing.
Wow.
And to that day, I kind of like I got my first hit of it, and I that was that. And then fast forward 4 or 5 years, I used to get shipped to Manitoba, Winnipeg, Manitoba, central Canada, the prairies, every summer to like work on a farm or stay with my prairie family. And I was staying at my cousin. He lived in a Victorian house, and so yeah, I would have been about 13-ish. And we went to go shopping, and I'm like, dude, you didn't lock your door. And he's like, don't worry about it. My friends look after the house. And I'm like, there's nobody home, man. And he's like, don't worry about it. My friends are home. I'm like, okay. And it was kind of a shady area of Winnipeg. And long story short is, we get home, everything was fine. And then that night, again, I'm on a couch, and all of a sudden, coming up from the basement, picture a basement like from the movie The Conjuring, you know, when they go down into the creepy basement with like the cobblestone walls, because it's a 1800s house. Mm-hmm. And all of a sudden, I hear these steel toes coming up from down there, and the door to the kitchen flings open, and I hear these heavy boots walking all over the floor in the kitchen. And then it goes downstairs, the door slammed, and it kept happening over and over and over again. And again, I get the fortitude, and I get up and go look, and I see the door slam open in front of me, and I could hear the footsteps in front of me. Like I could hear the audio of the footsteps, but I couldn't see the person. And then I tuck tail and run upstairs to my cousin's bedroom. I'm like, dude, what is up with your house? And he's like, I told you, my friends look after the house. And I'm like, okay, they sure do. And then after that experience, I was hooked. I used to get all like the ghost hunting, the ghost story, the history ghost story books out at school, and Goosebumps and Fear Street, day one.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not only is Mike an awesome investigator, which I definitely want to talk to you about one of your more recent episodes. I know Jenny has some questions in regarding some too. But Mike is actually the very first person, I don't want to speak for you, but very first person that I ever spoke with that actually has a collection of haunted items. And my sis here, Mela from Black Smoke Paranormal, she loves her items and Joy as well. But Mike is one of the very first people that
he got the
I ever spoke to that collected stuff.
Yeah, so that's true.
Tell the folks how you started on that path.
I guess I kind of I've always been fascinated for whatever with the Victorian era. And I don't know why. I think I lived back then, man.
I love Victoria. When you said Victoria,
yeah, like you can see my rent-a-family up here above me. And I guess going up and down the antique alleys, I guess I had a little bit of a spidey sense where I would just feel something, and then I'd have to buy it, and then I'd bring it home, and then weird things would happen, and I'm like, well, here we are. Let's keep buying things, right? Like exhibit A. I don't know. I know we're on the radio, but I YouTube as well. But to my right is the Ouija board.
To my right.
and the story on the Ouija board is I bought it at an antique store in a town called Fort Langley, which is 15-20 minutes away from where I live. It's just the neighboring town to mine. And I go into this basement, and this Ouija board's just sitting there, like slapping me in the face, like it's right there. And then I'm like, "Ooh, that's an old board. Take all of my money." And and I go upstairs because there wasn't a price tag on it. I'm like, "How much?" I think it's
our side.
And he goes $150, and I'm like, "Okay, take it." And then I go home and I took photos of it, and I sent it to one of my friends that works with the Gettysburg people. Sorry, not Gettysburg. They live in Pennsylvania. The Salem Witch Board Museum. I sent photos of my board to there, and they dated it back to 1884 or 1886. Sorry, and it's an original board from 1886. It still has on the back of it like a little sticker. It's more paper, saying that it was built at the proper place in Maryland and the whole 9 yards, and it's worth a couple grand US dollars. So that's like $1 billion Canadian dollars.
Wow.
You paid 150.
I did.
Is 150? What would that have been in US dollars? I don't know the conversion.
105.
Oh shit.
100. Yeah.
The cows, right?
And I'm really morbid in the fact that I collect post-mortem photos from like the 1850s and 60s. As to my right, you can see down there's more. And
but wait, there's more.
And then to my left, like here's one of the newer ones I bought. So your viewers can see it's an old cabinet card.
Wow.
And he's laying down like he's on a pillow.
Yeah.
And then it's got his name and all that stuff on it. And so I don't know. I guess with paranormal investigating, to me, I want to tell their story. It's not just about the ghost hunt or like the jump scare for me. Mm-hmm. If I can communicate with someone and say a message for them, share their story, help celebrate or conserve their memory, then I'm all about it. And I think that's why I have a have a collection of all these photos everywhere, and above my left shoulder in this little cabinet up here is a bunch of creepy knickknacks. But Jen, I actually got rid of a handful of my haunted stuff.
How do you get rid of them? Did you sell them? eBay?
Sold them to local investigators that live here. Sold or just give away because I need to sleep.
So I was gonna say, so did they affect you? What was maybe the worst thing that's happened since you brought anything in your house? Like, what's the craziest thing you think you've experienced?
I knew I did something wrong when I was like in my bedroom and I was getting ready for bed, and I could hear a growl from my living room.
Oh no!
And I'm like, come on. And then I keep myself in check. I'm like, well, you did this to yourself. And the creepiest thing that's happened to me, I think, is I think I've experienced a shadow man in my room, like at the corner of my bedroom. This was shortly after I got one of my, not one of these two, but one of the ones that are over there that y'all can't see. Just kind of float towards me and hover above me. And I normally don't tell that story because it sounds so far in the field, but it happened. And so what I did, and like I'm friends with a few really good intuitives. And so now all of my stuff, I call it the creepy corner of my house.
Yeah.
So like behind me is where everything is. The rest of my place, there's nothing. It looks like a normal household. And it's all confined basically to my little office area. And I find since doing that and putting boundaries in, like even when we do investigations, like residentials, you always tell the people that are being affected to give boundaries to spirits. And it's my house, so my boundaries.
Exactly. Yeah.
So do you put like salt or anything that's like a barrier?
I have salt actually right here, and I also have I really like black onyx and fire agate.
Okay.
And me being of Métis heritage, so Métis is a form of, like, in American would be like Native American. I follow the like I sage my house quite often. I use sage, sweetgrass, cedar, because being from the Pacific Northwest, cedar is important up here, and I find that helps me a lot too to keep things. Because doing the amount of investigations I do, and you're always bringing stuff home when you don't want to.
Do you feel like if you don't acknowledge them, they don't bother you? Or do you feel like the minute you start thinking about them is when you start noticing them more?
If I'm creeped out at home, it's a problem.
Yeah.
I find like what this Ouija board, when I brought it home, I was like, I don't know about keeping this. But I'm like, but it's so rare. So I kept it.
It's nice. It's nice, yeah.
And I had a what's it called? A spinster doll. And so a spinster is an old-timey term used when a female never got married or didn't have kids. They just stayed solo their whole life. And they said whatever female owned this doll became a spinster.
Oh. Do you have it near you?
No, I do not. That's not even in my house. I've learned. I've become wise.
I was going to ask, what do you think specifically was the growl that you heard?
Looking back on it, I think it was energy, because this would be a new place for a spirit attached to an item that say has been in an antique store, somebody's house for years.
Right.
So if somebody buys that, the familiarity is gone. The energy they're used to is gone. If I have hectic energy, that's probably what I don't. I'm probably one of the most calm people you'll ever meet. Yeah. But like, I think that would be it. I think the growl was unfamiliar. Like, they don't know me from Boo. I just picked them up and bring the item home. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so it could be them testing me. It could be them being like, why am I here? It could be them, I don't have it displayed correctly. As weird as that sounds, that does make a difference.
Yeah, I believe it.
Yeah.
You think you can pinpoint it to a certain object?
A particular item.
That was. Yeah. or no? Have you heard it?
I had, keyword is had, a helmet from World War II. It was a German one. It was dug up.
You remember that one?
Yeah, from
You showed
Stalingrad.
it to us.
I did. Yeah.
I have a helmet too, a military helmet, like the hard ones, right?
Yeah, this was
Yeah.
a
I
straight,
have like
Like a
Yeah.
turtle shell.
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
it was a straight German one.
Mhm.
And I couldn't shake the energy off it. Like I had it up displayed historically, obviously.
Mhm.
But I sold it to a collector. I just if I can't chi with the energy, I kind of don't want it. And I know that's advice I'd give to people that like collecting haunted things. Don't
Yeah.
push it with haunted things. Like
Yeah.
people get rid of them for a reason, and if you can't or don't want to handle them, then get rid of them.
Do you feel like hey Vet,
Hey, Vet.
what was I gonna say? I
Do
just
you-
had a brain fart. I'm sorry. I'll come back to me.
It was about was it a growl? Was it a growl or the helmet?
Helmet.
Or no, for joy or like
Yeah.
just meshing with the energy.
I don't even know. This is why if I think of something, I got to spit it out because this will happen. Yeah.
Oh, good.
I'll just type it in the comments so I don't forget.
Yeah. You had mentioned so that you pick up an item maybe because you're drawn to it. So I was going to ask you, do you consider yourself, that was one of my questions for you. Do you consider yourself maybe like a sensitive where you're able to read an object? And that's why you
Yes.
collect, obviously.
Oh,
Yeah.
Thank you. That's what I was going to ask. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to ask, Jen. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, that's exact. Yes, I'm telling you.
It's like that post-mortem photo that I showed you guys with the guy laying down.
Mhm.
Yeah.
As soon as I saw that that was at an antique store in Anacortes, Washington, and my stomach started to hurt. I'm like, okay, a photo's making my stomach hurt. Better buy it. and I yeah, I guess I get a little bit of a sense.
Is that your sign, like a stomach hurting, or do you have like, what is your sign? Yeah, some people have chills.
Yeah.
straight up anxiety or like a stomach pain?
Oh, that's this guy right here.
Or I feel guilty,
Taco Bell
like I committed a crime or did something wrong.
Oh, wow.
We're never gonna let that go, huh?
No,
But that's every paranormal investigator. Everybody always seems to like want to eat Mexican before going out, and I'm like, why?
those are demons. You hear the growls an hour after the Mexican
They
food.
sure are demons.
Tremendous.
They sure are.
What's up, B?
BT, what's up?
Hey,
What's
team.
up?
Good of hits. I want to start like, I don't do it all the time because we don't have a lot of antique places here, but if we do go out of town, I'm like, oh, I kind of want to go to an antique store or whatever. And I just walk around just to see what it is that I might feel. And so for me it's like goosebumps or like very lightheaded.
Oh,
Mainly
sure.
lightheaded. Yeah, like if I like walked into like a swirl, I don't know.
I'm really drawn to the photos. I don't know what it is.
I think they're
Like,
cool.
like I can like they just keep going, as you can see, like for yours.
Yeah.
And then that one in the corner, that old guy is that's a painting from, not a painting, a photo from the Civil War.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that's cool. But,
You know, the is that a photo behind you? The directly behind you is like dark.
Two of them.
the little
Right.
thing?
No, next to the Ouija board, directly behind you.
Oh no, that's an iMac.
Oh,
The big black one?
yeah.
Yep.
The way it was positioned, I thought it was like a photo, but I'm thinking it's like a portal behind you.
It could be.
Probably is.
I don't know. I was fixated on it. I was like, damn, that looks like a hole in the wall.
My God.
It leads you to
With
information.
some stairs at an
yeah.
angle above your shoulder. It was weird. I don't know.
Yep.
It's super, super interesting. I remember Mike showed me a picture. It was like a lady, and I don't know. Like first, like intuitive, like read. I don't even know if whatever happened to that. I don't even know if you have that photo anymore.
Yeah, I'm looking right at it. It's,
Yeah?
in front of me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ever get to like find out anything about these pictures, or like no? It's just like
No. they're just lost. They're people's family that they just ditched at an antique store, and
I find
they
that so sad. You know,
yeah.
I remember. Damn, who was it? Not that long ago, I saw somebody collect something, and it was like a box. Oh, it was an urn, and there was some. As a matter of fact, it was James from Across the Line Paranormal. He had bought an urn and like 2 other things from a thrift shop, and the urn still had ashes in it. And I was like,
Oh.
man, that's fucked up, man.
Yeah.
It is.
I just think that's so terrible. I mean,
human or dog? Or I guess it doesn't matter. It's ashes.
good question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they look like a human urn, like a big urn.
Bigger urn.
Dang.
That's why I don't know if I want to be cremated and I want to be put in the ground, because what if they carry me around and they lose me in an antique store? You know what I mean?
No, but I just think it's so sad that like
old, dude.
I'm like, dude, they were, you know, it just you're there for sale. It's like so.
Here's
It's
my
so
dead-
disappointing, you know, I'm like, God,
And then- And then some macabre person buys it, macabre collector buys it and puts you on their mantle. At least you're on someone's mantle at that
I
point.
can do some rituals and shit with my ashes or something. You know, you never know where it's gonna land. End up, yeah.
You think an employees would do an assessment? You know, I don't know. I don't think so. Who knows? How do you? That's what I'm saying. How do people just give things away like that, like an old family? That's what I'm saying.
Unless
You know?
it's accidental, like unless they donated it by accident or family, they don't have like any family and it's a state sale, you know, the state comes in and yeah.
That's the only thing I can think of.
Excuse me.
That is terrible.
80% of my collection comes from the United States as well. Like you guys preserve. I appreciate that. Like the photos and stuff. Here it's just we just check things out. Everything's new.
Yeah.
And going to the antique stores, like when I was in Nevada this past year, or even in Washington and Oregon, it's like, it's like mind blown with all the stuff that's there. And then I got to keep in mind that the dollar, the Canadian versus American dollar, I'm like, careful, because there's so much more to buy down there, and that's one thing I really admire, like with going down to the States as frequent as I do, is the history preservation and just the artifact preservation. Just it's cool. Hats off to that.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Maybe some places more than others, not like here. They tear everything down. But like in other places, yeah, they like to preserve historical buildings and stuff like that.
History? What history? Give me a 20-foot high-rise apartment building.
Gross.
No, that's how it is here for.
Yeah.
Same here. They tear it down and they build new.
Yeah.
Talk about investigating. So what was the first place you ever investigated as a paranormal investigator?
Oh God. That would have been circa 1998, 1999. My friend's basement with a Ouija board. Yeah, and so he always said his house was kind of creepy and there's stuff in there, so why not? Let's use a Ouija board, right? And so we're down in the basement, and there's 3 of us on the board, and there's one other person sitting there not on the board because they didn't want to do it. And then it's the classic, no, you're moving the board. And then the person who wasn't doing it goes, okay, if you're real, what's my worst fear? Okay. And this person was in charge of writing down all the letters, right? And it's spelled white pit bull, like the dog breed. And it's a lot of words. Sorry, a lot of letters for it to spell, but it did. And then when we were going to, I guess, 7-Eleven that night, you know, a nice hot summer night, grade 11s need Slurpees, right? When we're investigating. So we take a break. And then as we're walking there, this white pitty comes out of nowhere and kind of separates the person that was scared of them from the rest of us and was lunging and barking at them, and then just screwed off. Like nothing. It just walked away or jaunted away. So that would have been my first time investigating, like soliciting communication with like the other side. My first investigation was at a house with a team out here, and it was one of the creepiest houses I'd ever been in. And it was famous for EVPs. It was a private residence. Like, it wasn't nothing special, nothing historic, but some bad things had happened there. And well, this was the first time I experienced an EVP as well. So it was like a 2-for-1, an investigation with a live listen EVP, and it was this loud British accent saying "F off."
Wow.
When we were, and as soon as I obtained the evidence, I'm like, this is my new passion. and by reading, because like I'm a big history nerd too, and from reading all the books growing up, that's what started it. What was this house, and from all the stuff I've been reading and joining my first team, I learned a lot, and yeah, that would have been my first real team investigation.
So that was around 98, 99?
That the team one? No, that would have been 2007. I was doing stuff from like 98, 99 to then with like friends, where we would do like Ouija seance and just what you shouldn't be doing because we're young, and you know.
And back then, and you know, they didn't have equipment. The only thing we had was like a Ouija board.
And like we used those, you know, remember those little, this is going to age myself, but remember like the little reporter tape, like those tiny tape recorders? we used those.
Yeah.
And you didn't know if it was an EVP, or you didn't know if it was like
static.
Static, or just because you're reusing the tape over and over again.
Yeah, you got to use that one time, and
that's expensive. That's how we used to make our greetings for our voicemails. I don't know if you ever did that. Or like you record your favorite song on the radio, and
you know what? And that's the only argument I have with that. I used to record all the damn time, and I record over, you know, you try to like listen on the radio, and you know they're gonna play the song you like, and I'm like, fine, I'm ready, and I had to like write it. And record right over it. Yeah. I never had no crazy EVPs on my fucking cassette, so I don't buy that shit. Sometimes we be like, well, it's just, you know, that like the recording over and this and that. And I always think back to like me. I'm telling you, I have cassettes up the butt in my parents' house. I don't have EVPs on. I have booty music. Shit like that.
It's the wrinkles in the tape. You know how they get wrinkly after a minute?
Yeah.
They would just go, that never happened unless it got like caught up, and then that tape is gone. So well, but
those were good days.
I know, back in the good old days.
You'd sit there for hours waiting for your favorite song, and boop.
I recorded music videos as well. Yeah.
Oh, I used to do that too.
Yeah.
On the VHS,
Yep.
Yeah, I got some good.
We're getting old. That sucks. These kids have no idea what we went through.
Yep.
We're sitting down for hours on LimeWire, or when you're pirating websites to download a good CD, and next thing you know, it's like trash.
Yeah.
Have you got that? You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Or you download a song and it's like some other like remix version that it was like fake, like a whole bunch of like
10 minutes too long. I'm like, what is that?
Or you
and then it sounded like it was underwater. Yeah.
Yeah. Or it's something else completely. It's like Spanish shit. Yeah, I'm like, no, this is not what I wanted. You know, I love Spanish. I'm telling you, I still want to jam to my cassettes.
Mm-hmm.
So you've investigated, obviously, now from your basement well into a whole bunch of places on the West Coast and in Canada. What has been your favorite, you think?
Oh God. Dang.
I mean, you used to not really work, but you used to. I don't know if you consider it work at a location that you used to host. It's the place that you had like an experience in the second floor. You know what I'm talking about?
No, but I would. The old courthouse inn. I would say my favorite location would be. I really enjoyed the Silver Queen in the Mackey Mansion in Nevada, Virginia City.
Ooh, I'm gonna ask you questions on that episode.
Yeah. And I really, really enjoy up here this town called Barkerville. So Barkerville, for to paint a picture for the American people, it would be our version of like a Tombstone or Deadwood. It was a gold rush town up in central British Columbia. And so picture this tiny little town that struck a lot of gold, and you have all of the British people, the Americans, the Chinese, the Australians, all funneling up to chase the gold. So the town in itself was amazing. So it thrived in the late 1860s and 70s with a gold rush. And the town, it's I think North America, so Canada and the United States, North America's largest interpretive park, like where all the buildings are intact, all like the historical interpretive park. So there's like all the period actors and actresses and all that stuff. So it's like a living museum essentially.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of things that happened up there. Like there are a few murders, obviously. There's a courthouse, so there are some hangings there back in the old days when that's what they did for Tibet. And just a lot of town drama. And just the amount of evidence I have obtained communicating with the spirits there, like EVPs, being touched, being shadow people, and just it's wild. For your listeners, I just look up the town Barkerville. Or we have one of our latest little episodes we did was in Barkerville. But my most terrifying one that I just remembered while telling you about Barkerville was called the Bailey House. And
I think that's the place I'm talking about.
It is. Yep, I remembered. Yep. And this is in a town called Merritt, British Columbia. So that's not quite central British Columbia. So for size, British Columbia would be the size of probably California and a bit of Oregon and some of it's huge. Yeah. And so the Bailey House was built by a man who was basically building it for a British war bride to come over and live with him after the war. But on her way here, she found somebody else and started. So the drama started right then. And so investigating this place again, this is one of the ones where we've had a lot of EVP, and the ghosts are touchy there. And and when I say touchy, it's like my day job, I'm an investigator. So sometimes when I'm asking questions, I probably come off as questioning or trying to obtain information I need.
Right.
And so I was upstairs, and the sensitive that was with us at the time was like, Mike, maybe change your gears on what you're asking. Like I wasn't being disrespectful. I might have just come off as like
an investigator.
Yes, I need to know now.
Yeah. Like you were doing your job, basically.
Yeah, 100%. Because that's one thing I've learned, to not go into work. I call it work mode. Don't go into work mode.
Yeah.
But then I felt this cold hand touch my neck and squeeze for about 2 seconds, 2 to 3 seconds. And then it just let go. And I tucked tail and ran out of that place so fast. And I got sick in the bushes outside, the flower bush. And then when I came back inside, we heard this loud growl. So that would probably have been my most terrifying investigation, because I couldn't control my surroundings. And I feel maybe the spirit felt disrespected, which wasn't my intent. And that was I had a nice slice of humble pie.
Yeah.
And it kind of made me almost quit paranormal investigating, because that got too close to the stove on that one. And
it was grabbing your throat. You know? Yeah.
And then so I really thought about it. I took a bit of a couple month hiatus after that. And I'm like, what can I do differently, or as a team we can do differently to ensure things like that don't happen? And one little adjustment I did was, so Mondo, if I came into your house at 3 a.m. saying, knock if you're here, without you knowing I'm coming there, what are you going to do to me? Right? and you don't know me.
Right.
So now what we do is before we start an investigation anywhere, we'll go a couple hours early with a curator or whoever owns the property and have them walk us through, introducing us to the ghosts and letting the spirits know that we're going to be there later. And ever since we started doing that, stuff like that doesn't happen anymore, to me at least.
Yeah. When we do the public events with the war party team, mainly also in Yesteryear Village, which is also a living museum, and any other museum place that we do. So we'll pick out, say, the building or location we're going to host, because the team splits up, and then the public, they'll go to get to freestyle and go whichever building they like. So I'll go to the house that say we picked out, leave my stuff there, and I always knock first on the door. I'm like, hey, it's me. I open up. It's me, Jen. We've been there so many times to all these different places. So that's what I kind of do. I'm like, hey, I'm back again. Tonight we have an event. We're gonna have some people. That's literally what I say. I'm talking to them like if somebody's there at the house.
That's awesome.
And I was like, we have a public people here. Show them a good time. Let them know that you guys can communicate from the other side, and we'll be back later. And then I don't know. It kind of seems to work.
Yeah, it's a good way of building rapport too, because at the same time, thinking about it from their perspective, it's like
My hands are like
dance puppets.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't want to do that either.
Nah, see,
first I didn't do that, but I don't know. I just started doing that. I don't know.
Right, of course.
Yeah, I didn't used to introduce myself until I was thinking about that. That thought came across my mind. Like, I don't want to make them feel like a show or something, like a puppet.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Puppet show.
because I've been followed a few times home, like by spirits from investigations. I haven't in a while, knock on wood. But like again, it all comes down to like the respect when you're on locations too, right? And like you saying, like knocking on the door and then going, that's awesome. Yeah, like I always tell them that I'm here just to share their story, and if they have anything they want to talk about, come. That's what we're here to do. It's all about them. It's all about the location and the spirits that live there.
I think there's a difference between being assertive and douchey.
Yeah, there's a fine one. Yeah.
Yeah. Exact Baggins. Show yourself.
No,
because at the end of the day, they don't have to.
they don't have to do
respond. They can just watch you make an ass out of yourself.
Yep.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're people. They were once people. They don't have to communicate with us. They don't want to.
And like, especially if you're dealing with spirits from like the 1800s or the 1900s, the 1950s, we look a lot different and we talk a lot different.
It's true. Yeah, that's good. I didn't think about that. That's very true.
And like we even adjust our gear accordingly. Like if we're gonna go investigate old timey places, then we're gonna instead of bringing like a K2 or like a lantern or EMF lantern or whatever, we'll bring like that from Ghost Stop, that EMF candle or the dead bell.
I love that dead bell.
Because I think a spirit from in the old days would identify with a candle more than they would like a REM pod.
Yeah.
And so that being said, it's like I've been working really hard to try and cater to the ghosts in the time period. Because if we want to talk to them, we gotta put out the red carpet respectfully for them, because it's about them.
Right. It's like know your audience.
Yeah.
I feel like the dead bell attracts a lot more of the older ghosts, because that thing, for us anyway, has been like on point, man. I'm like, damn. Like a lot of people use it for 1 for yes, 2 for no. I do it opposite. I go 2 for yes, 1 for no. And then there's times I'm like, if I'm really talking to somebody, hit the bell 3 times. Ding, ding, ding. And I'm like, holy shit,
Yeah.
I just want to make sure it's not false. It's not picking up EMF. So that's why I probably get annoying to the spirits, because I'm like, do it again. I need to make sure. And they're probably like, God damn it, woman.
I ain't doing nothing.
Yeah, will you stop asking the same question?
Talking about the EMF, the candle you brought up, I actually had a question, and it's from the Bakerville video, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. In the courthouse, you mentioned the Richfield technique, which I saw you use that candle. So can you explain what was going on there? And I wanted to know, have you ever done that with any other any other piece of equipment?
No, so the Richfield technique that was brought up on the fly up there.
Okay.
That wasn't planned. Basically, that was a silver nitrate mirror. So that was an old mirror, and we were wanting to try a modern take on a seance with a silver nitrate mirror, because they say with those mirrors in particular, they use those and you can see spirits in them. Like I have a little pocket one,
Okay.
that I want to start experimenting with. But that's kind of what we were doing with the candle. So we were giving the spirit a couple options to talk to us. Either we'll say blow out the candle, or show yourself in the mirror.
What kind of mirror is it?
Silver nitrates.
One of them, yeah, one of those old Victorian silver nitrate.
So what is the difference between that and like I guess an everyday mirror? Because I don't know.
We don't use that anymore. I'm not sure what we use now.
Is that the one? If you look at it, it kind of looks like it's peeling.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe because it's older and they made the mirrors different back in the day.
Yeah.
The material they used or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it that was just the Richfield technique. We actually did. We were in Port Townsend, Washington, a couple weeks ago, and we tried it again because coincidentally there's a silver nitrate mirror at this old hotel, and is just neat to do. Just whenever we're doing the investigations, we try to do things on the fly, and like we have another one called the North Head technique, which is a modern take on a seance where you connect hands, but you also have some of the gadgets in the center, whereas they can use us as like an EM pump and communicate, use our energy to manipulate the gadgets, the cameras, or the audio recorders. So we just tried different things to get different responses.
Nice.
Did it work for when you guys did it in the courthouse?
We heard footsteps. It was just the three of us in the courthouse. There's no power. Like we were rolling with flashlights and panel lights. And we heard like heavy boot footsteps in the background. I think that was kept in the video. And we also heard a couple voices. I don't know if they were, I didn't edit it. Our friend his name's Jake, he edited it. And I don't remember if he kept the clip in of the EVP because it wasn't a class A. I think it would have been like a open for interpretation type EVP.
All right.
So yeah, I'd like to try it again though.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
If you do, you said you have one already. Like I don't know. I want to hear your when you ever do try it out. Let me know about
For
that.
sure.
That's super interesting. You're the only person I know that actually has that candle.
Really?
Yeah.
Like that spirit candle or whatever it is.
I strongly recommend it. Like I like it because, like I said, you're catering to the older ghosts. Because if I was an old ghost and you brought out like a REM pod, and I'd be like, "What is that witchcraft?" And I wouldn't want to be near it. But with a candle, I think I could relate.
You know, that's funny because in some investigations, say we do have like a REM pod or even with the XLS, certain pieces of equipment, I'll have the obulus out and it will say, "What's that?" Like literally it will say that as a text. Or other times it'll say something about like witch or something. And I'm wondering in occasions like that, I'm thinking if they're wondering like, oh, like blasphemy, like what the hell is that shit? I don't know. Yeah, like that's a thought that comes across my mind.
What if they're investigating us on the other side?
Who said that, Jesse? Who said that? Jesse, yeah.
They have their own equipment.
Jesse
They have
said
their own equipment, and they're looking at us like asking us questions.
Once they're way advanced than we are and shit, you know.
Yeah, for sure. But we also have been trying some other old timey things where like we'll use baby powder to see if we could get like footsteps or anything. Fishing line with a bell. So so expensive.
We've actually tried that. The fishing line with the bell with Steve and Mella.
Yeah. Nothing happened, but we did do the baby powder also with Marie and Earl.
Maria and Earl.
And I don't know if anything happened there, but that method is pretty cool too.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Jess had a good idea. If you next time you do the scrying thing, have a little tea light candle in your hand instead of like, and then, well, I mean, it'll be.
Yep, I agree.
You're gonna shit yourself, but it'd be fucking cool.
As long as I got it on tape, I'll take it.
Yeah, like have a little tea light candle in your hands, because it's not gonna like really spill anywhere. And say if you're communicating, maybe ask if they can blow it out if you're in front of a mirror. Oh my god, that'll be scary, guys.
Yeah,
she's onto something. I like it.
I know, fucking crazy over here, right? Can you tell the audience also what you do with Dave at We Own the Night, because there's some questions I want to ask you about that section.
So I've been a host on Spaced Out Radio since 2015. I've had my so every third Wednesday of the month I have my segment called Ghosts of the Great White North, where we bring on people like 305 Paranormal and have chats and I like that. I like to talk shop. Yeah, I love talking shop to other teams and it's a nice community to have and to get to know people and learn from people. And I love it. I've been doing that, since 2015. And the Spaced Out Radio Network's actually grown pretty large. It's syndicated, so it's on a lot of radio chat stations all throughout the world as well now. And every year we go down to Vegas and we have a Spaced Out Radio listener party, and I'm excited to do that this year. So
are you closer to the west side of United States? Or are you more on the east side of the United States where you are at?
I'm in British Columbia, so I'm in Vancouver. So I'm about from my house, I'm about 11 minutes from the United States border. Blaine, Bellingham.
You would be closer to you guys' side.
Washington. Okay, yeah, like Washington.
Yeah.
I'm on the Pacific Ocean. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That makes it easier. I'm on the west side, the east side. In the middle.
Yeah. No, I'm close to. Yeah, that's where I am. And yeah.
And so you guys talking about more extraterrestrials, even though you do guys get into those, but he does the aliens, cryptids. So I had a question about that. So during say spirit box sessions, because I don't know if I had asked Dave that, but do you feel like you've ever come across talking to maybe extraterrestrials?
I'm not the alien guy, but no. So it's funny you mentioned that. So I did a video in Spokane, Washington, with my friends, the Paranorthwest. I've become really close to that team, and we investigate a lot together. And they're big alien guys. Like they like to investigate the terrestrials. And I filmed them doing the CE5 experiment.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
and they use a spirit box during that. So it's they do the Gansfeld with the spirit box, and it was really interesting to watch. So Cheyenne, she was the one that was under, and she said she was getting hits from the like communication and all these weird noises. So I guess so. Yeah.
So with the for the people who don't know what that is, it's kind of like they go into like a meditation, and you're supposed to call in UFOs or orbs or whatever. Did anything like that come in? Did y'all see something?
So like I was documenting it, like I was more camera guy. Okay. But I did take part in the part where we were meditating and calling them in. And the vibe definitely changed. Did I see an alien? No. Did I see some things in the sky? Maybe. Yeah. But it was watching Cheyenne go under with like the GANs, the red lights and the spirit box kind of made me be a little more open to it as well. Yeah. They were really excited for me to come do that with them, because I'll debate with people, alien stuff sometimes. But obviously I'm open to it. I just haven't experienced it. And You know, I'd love to. I invite it. I'd love to experience it. Like I've experienced ghosts, obviously. I think I've experienced a Bigfoot like before.
Where, doing a spirit box?
No, not with spirit box, just in general. I was just reflecting on the alien stuff and then Bigfoot. So yeah, no.
Joey's gonna hop off.
I gotta go.
Yeah, you guys gotta go work.
He has to go.
Thank
All right,
you,
nice
John.
meeting you.
You as well.
Week, bud. Take care.
Jen,
Bye. Be safe.
thank you. Ooh.
Don't trip on something.
Yeah. He's sitting on this little, those little square ottoman at like Walmart.
Yes, I see it. I see it.
What?
What?
You guys. Everybody say bye, babe.
All right. He got to go to work. He gonna be late.
Yeah.
Damn, that's interesting. But the reason why I ask about the aliens and stuff, because I sometimes do. I don't know. Have you ever heard of Paranormal?
No.
So okay, so check it out on YouTube. It's a Paranormal. So that is visual white noise on top of white noise, top of white noise.
Can you send me that? Like send it to me?
Yeah, I'll send it to you after.
Cool.
So every once in a while, like a couple times during the day, he runs a live stream. So say I'm watching, if it's on live, it won't work for a recorded, obviously a previous recording session. But say I have it on live here and I gonna ask if I want to do a live session. So you're gonna get the audio and the visual. And in some of the visuals I've seen, like you'll see faces.
Oh wow.
Like I say, hey, say if I'm asking for like my grandma, let's just say, for an example, can you show me a heart? And like literally you might see a heart come through or whatever face, signs. I've seen alien faces on that.
Yeah, she showed me that.
And I've showed them. I'm like, what does this look to you? Like, and it's not the first time. I've seen it numerous times and I'm like, with these frequencies on top of frequencies, because that's all it is.
That's
Like,
crazy.
what are you like connecting to? And it's crazy, but I've heard kids' voices come out on there. Like, you gotta try it. It's amazing.
I'd totally be down for that. Yeah.
Yeah, that shit is dope.
I don't know. What if we're communicating with aliens and not even spirits?
That's the only thing that me experimenting with that. I kind of believe we've done. I think we're doing both.
Or vice versa.
No,
Fair.
what I've been thinking for the longest time, I haven't told Mike this. I think like we're investigating, but they're investigating us.
Mm-hmm.
Fair. I agree.
That's what I think.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just so happens that they're recording and they're trying to ask, and we hear EVPs, but I don't know.
I think there's something going on. I feel what you're saying wholeheartedly. Yep.
Like, okay, so I don't know. Do you follow? Do you know Ron Yacovetti and Lourdes? So they do. Yeah, it was Staticom, but I'm trying to think of the other name for it right now.
One moment, please.
So they do is they have a computer system that
I believe it's called digital seance.
the digital seance thing.
Okay.
Digital seance experience. So what they do is now the computer program that they use it's not audio. It's just, it's not visual. It's just audio, and it's literally just white noise slowed down. So because everything is like really fast, this is like really slow. So when they slow it down, you don't miss people speaking and stuff. And you'll hear conversation, just talking, and then you call me like, "Hi, can you say my name?" Or they'll be like, "Oh, hi," or they'll be like, "Hi, Ron," or whatever. And it's like you're like they were already doing something, and then you're kind of like interrupting them, and then they answer you, and then they go back to doing whatever the hell they're doing. And sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, they're talking to us." It's freaking crazy. So I'm like, what is that?
Yeah, send it to me.
That's the whole like alien thing, because he knows about paranormal, very similar. And then that experience is the only thing that has me wondering about the alien thing, about extraterrestrials, because I'm not gonna throw. I don't not believe it. But when you see it, you'll be like, it's like a light bulb. Like goes off.
Yeah, no, I've talked to a lot of experiencers over the years, and it's super interesting. I'm absolutely open to experiencing that stuff. I'm not sure why I haven't, because like maybe I'm just still on the vibes. I don't know.
You'll see it. Well, that's cool. So shape shifting. How about shape shifting? Do you believe in Bigfoot?
I do. I think so.
What do you think it is? Do you think it's its own entity? Do you think it's alien? Do you think it's like a interdimensional being? Like, what do you think?
I think it's its own thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. There's been a lot of debate on if it's interdimensional, if it's a shapeshifter. Like, so I have two experiences that I could tell you about.
Yeah.
One was when I was hunting. This was a long time ago, and so this is the wild north. Like, we got grizzly bears, we got everything in the woods here wants to kill you or eat you. And cougars to like wolves to like timber wolf, they're all in there, and they all know you're there too. And so I was alone, and I had hiked in quite far by myself to a brush pile. So I have my rifle, and I'm overlooking a clearing. This was deer hunting, and all of a sudden I'm like, okay, I hear something, but I'm wood savvy enough to where I know the sounds, and I'm like, that's not a bear, because he would have charged already. That's not a wolf. That's not a deer. I know what moose sound like. And then all of a sudden I hear tree knocks, and I'm like, uh-oh. And I wasn't thinking about Bigfoot yet. But then I saw, so at the tree line, whatever it was wasn't unveiling itself. But I could see shaking on the tree line. And then I heard the wood knocks again. And then I heard like sticks, like cracking.
Right.
And then I chamber. and just in case I'm going to get charged by something. And all the bird sound was gone. There were no sounds, and then it just stopped. But it was the tree snapping, the wood knocking, and the shaking of the trees right on the tree line. What kind of creeped me out a bit.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, I got a far walk to go now.
I've been creeped out. Yeah.
I was. That ruined it. Well, didn't ruin it, but it creeped me out to where I was frazzled.
I was gonna say, Dantek says on the chat, never good when the forest goes quiet, and I agree. Like when you hear like not even the birds, just and it's just you and that thing or whatever it is.
Yeah, because
it's a different feel.
They're like, ooh.
Yeah. And then like one of my good friends up here, Jay, he's involved with the Bigfoot Research Society up here. And I'm like, bro, this is what happened. And he's like, dude, that sounds like Sasquatch. And then he pulled up like a map, and like all the little Sasquatch sightings or reports for like British Pacific Northwest, so like Washington, Idaho, Oregon, and BC. And where I was particularly was a little hotbed for activity. So I'm like, oh snap!
Oh, so you didn't even know it?
Yeah. No, I wasn't even in my thoughts. I was just having a weekend with the boys, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And so thinking of that, I'm like, oh damn, that's it's kind of cool, but it's creepy at the same time. When I was up there, I tried to record it on my like Sony phone. This was like before we had like Androids or iPhones. This was like a Sony slide phone. I tried to, I got nothing. So
that's why everybody's like, why are all the videos shaky and they look like crap? You know. Sometimes they say when people try to take footage of that, it's, I don't know, it causes like some type of distortion.
Yeah, and And I was just trying to take audio. I was trying to capture the wood knocks and the sounds. That's what I was doing. But it didn't work.
Yeah.
Classic, right?
That's how normally it is. Sometimes, normally, as paranormal investigators, you normally catch stuff, or something happens. You're not recording. You're setting up, or you just like set everything down. Like you're putting everything away, and like, something happens. Like that's normally how it is.
I actually did a little documentary with Jay, the guy I was just talking about. It's on my YouTube. I think it's titled like Ride Along with a Bigfoot Hunter or Investigator, and it's kind of neat just going with him into the territories where Bigfoot is said to be, and just interviewing him while investigating. I actually quite enjoyed doing that video and learning about that stuff.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, you mentioned the Gansfield, so let me ask you something about that, because in the Shanico Pop video that you had, you used the Delco goggles, right?
I did.
Yeah. So that was your first time doing that, and so that is a cross between the Estes method and the Gansfield experiment.
Yep.
So the goggles, they'd use red light. So that's kind of like the Gansfield, and you can use it, I guess, listening with frequency or spirit box, like how normally people do it with the Estes method. Yeah. So since that was your first time, I have a few questions for you on that. So how was that for you?
Really quick before I answer that, I gotta let my dog out. She's getting older and she's senile, so she's like running around the place. So I'll be right back.
We do not want her pooping everywhere.
I don't want her peeing. Give me a second.
Yeah, but go ahead.
So it was a trip, man. Like I didn't know what to expect with the Delco goggles. I was like, a red light, come on. But like I was a little skeptical. But when I put the Delco goggles on with the red light, I was like, whoa, this guy.
Did you have it strobing or did you have it on?
No, I just had it on straight. Okay. And then we had the SB7 Pro, so the newer spirit box.
Yeah.
And then I put the headphones on. I'm like, dang, the Delco goggles are cool. And it was a different layer of doing the Estes method, because like I'm just used to the black blindfold and all you see is dark, but with the Delco goggles you kind of trance out. Yeah, and I feel you're rolling at a different wavelength, to say. And I found that cool, and I find using the Delco goggles, I feel like there's a lot more activity in the sense of I felt like spirits coming right up to me or being like right there.
Yeah, true.
Versus the normal Estes method. So it was a trip, and I enjoy using them. And I think we've used them on every investigation that we filmed since.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So how you said that you feel like you kind of tranced out. Now for me, when I've used them, I was gonna ask you, did everything turn like I seen it do it both for different people? Did everything, now you have the red light. Imagine you have like red light. So did it go, for like the audience, did everything black out for you, or did it get all white?
Blacked out for me.
It went all black. Because I've got it like, it's like literally like a white wall, which sounds insane.
Dang.
It's crazy because it's
and black.
You see the red, but it's almost like you're looking past the red.
Yes.
It's so
like you're breaking a barrier somehow.
Yeah. Good. That's actually a good way of phrasing it. Yeah, you're just surpassing that, and it's kind of weird. You looking at it from the outside, the person that's not wearing the goggles, you see that bright red light, and you're like, how does that person, focus or be able to use those? And they just work. They just work.
They do.
And how you said you felt like some spirit steps up to you so many times, and I know you've said it in that Shanico video that you thought somebody came right up to you.
Yes.
And that's normally what you get. You feel like people walking right, like you're seeing shadow.
Yeah.
Even though it's impossible, Right.
And with them Delco goggles, it puts you in a bit of a relaxed trance. Like I've done a lot of events with them where people want to try them. Either people love them or they scare them.
Yeah.
Because they don't like the red light. And when I say scare, I mean that they have a lot going on.
Yeah.
But I find I quite like them in the sense of they relax you in the sense of not make vulnerable is the wrong word, but I think more what's the word?
Open.
Easier, open. Thank you for experiencing communication.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
well, that was the point with the Gansfield with the red light. It's supposed to kind of like put you in like another state to like a trance state. And then so you're doing that, and then you have the spirit box going on, or some people use it with like some type of frequency or any maybe like a binaural beat or something. And that your thoughts on microhertz, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, no, it's I like it. I like them. So
yeah, it's crazy. And you got touched. Yeah, he's talking about the Delco.
Yeah, Delco.
Yeah.
Do you think you would have gotten touched with if you were not using that by any chance? Because you felt like somebody like kicked your foot or something like that.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought, yeah. That's a good question. Because would I have felt that with just a blindfold? I don't know. But I think the Delco goggles give you enough of that distraction to where vulnerable. It leaves you a little bit vulnerable to communication. And I think that's what I like about them, because your energy is more focused on the red light to where it's hard to explain. I just think the Delco goggles are good. People go buy them and use them and experience the Estes method with them. And it's a game changer in the sense of I feel they work well.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I think they do. Absolutely. If anybody has a chance to try them, they're made from one of our teammates at War Party, Mike 𝒂𝒂𝒂𝒏𝒐𝒓𝒔, so that's why it's dubbed the Delco experiment, or the Delco goggles, I should say. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And very cool. I have like one of his first prototype. Mine look janky as shit, but you know what? They're the first. They're like one of the first ones out there. I don't think mine's don't strobe. They're like a solid.
Okay.
A solid. So I only experienced it like that, but it's super, super cool. Like,
so are there two different ones? I thought they both.
Now the ones that are kind of like mass made now that I think you're available at Ghost Stop, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Ghost Hunters International, I think.
On the ghost hunting store.
The ghost hunting store.
Yeah.
I could have sworn I saw it on Ghost Stop too. I could be wrong, but those have the option to have it just alone, like white. I mean, not white. Red solid, or you can strobe it.
Mm-hmm.
And then for people like if you have like seizures or stuff like that, please don't, because it's literally strobing light in your eyeballs or whatever.
Yeah.
How much are they? Do you guys know? I've never used them.
I think they're like 120 American or 130.
120 American. Okay.
I got them. Yeah.
But
you guys like them? You like them?
I
like them.
To like really take your S's to like a next level.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
I think they're dope. You should definitely try it.
There you go.
I'm writing it down right now. What I on my list.
Yeah.
Candle and the Delco.
Yeah.
I like the candle. I thought that because I liked how Mike said, like, time period wise, I think it's dope. That's why I like the bell in the first place.
Yeah.
Where did you get your candle? Where did you get your candle from? Stop.
Ghost Stop. Yep. I got one of the first ones. I was actually quite happy. It had even like a little wax emblem on it. So I got one of like I think the first like 20 or something like that. So
okay.
I love it. That's a strong recommendation for an EMF sensor.
I've seen them and I'm like, it's a candle. But now that you said something, I'm curious.
Top tier piece of equipment.
But I thought the same thing with the bell too. I thought the bell was just freaking cheesy until I got it, and I'm like, oh.
And then it works. I think I think it's cool.
It's one of my favorite pieces of equipment for sure.
So I was actually going to ask Mike that. What is your all-time favorite piece of equipment because I know you have a whole bunch of stuff, and then kind of like wrap it up.
I'm in a growth phase right now with the paranormal equipment. I've actually bought a bunch of new stuff. I bought some stuff from Australia and some stuff from the UK. If I'm to open my box right now and you and I are ghost hunting, I'm gonna reach for the candle. I'm gonna reach for an audio recorder. And I got this new it's called a Spirit Wave. And it's out of Australia. And what it does, it's a motion sensor, but a really good one. It detects the like radio waves versus just EMF or infrared.
Do you have it by you?
No, it's in my box. But but no, I love that piece of equipment. So those are the ones I use. I really liked Ovilus. We call it Avi, and
Avi.
Avi. But I bought the it's English cousin, the Spirit.
Oh, the Spirit Chat. Yeah. As a matter of fact, Joy, remember I told you somebody I knew bought the Spirit Chat?
Yeah.
Oh, like mine. Yes.
It's
The little round box.
what I was talking about.
I have the Ovilus and I have the Spirit Chat. I like the Spirit Chat way better and it's way cheaper.
The version 4, like the one that talks.
I bought both of them. I have the older one and then I have the version 4, the newer one.
Yeah, I got version 4. Yeah, you could buy like 4 of those for the price of an Ovilus.
Pretty much.
Let's not be wrong. Ovilus is the OG, and we all love Avi, right? And Spirit Chat it's a good alternative. It's like the Alice box as well. It's kind of the same genre. They're all 3 of them they do the same thing, and when it's got a cool British accent, and it's just like it is the Ovilus, and I quite like that one, and I've been experimenting with that quite a bit too.
The only downside I will say about the ones that we have is that you can't go back and look at your words like you can with the Ovilus, right?
Right.
So you have to like really take a picture of it or rely on your footage later on. But that's the only downside. If you have bad memory like I do, it's a handy feature to have to be able to go back and look.
And sometimes the words come up pretty fast.
Jen and 305 and we did an episode where we were using it and shit was just coming through that Spirit Chat like crazy. Like we were like, what the heck? Yeah, it was a good piece of equipment. I would definitely recommend that.
I like the Envoy. It's from Ghost Stop as well. You don't like the Envoy? No, I like that. I like the yes or no on that one.
A little plastic. Mine's missing a plastic little rubber button, and I'm like,
fair.
I'm like, no, it's all.
Although, like for me, I try to stay really traditional. Like I really like EVPs, and I like capturing. That's what I like. That's like to me Class A, Class A evidence. Whereas everything else can be argued per se.
Yeah.
But no, I love tech, especially the candle, the bell's cool. It's all fun toys, right?
You think the REM pod can be argued?
Exactly.
Yeah. The which one? What?
The REM pod? Do you think the REM pod can be argued?
Depends if you have do you have the temperature sensor on or off? Because if
I have it off all the time. That thing is so annoying. Yeah, that thing.
No, REM pod's cool. Like I don't mind the REM pod.
Yeah, that's my favorite. That's another of my favorites.
So
REM pod.
So
Mondo had a question for you.
No, not even a question. Before we do wrap up, one of the newer episodes that I really enjoyed was the Silver Queen haunting episode. So there you were doing work for Spaced Out Radio. I think you were having like a meeting where you had to come to stateside, and you were investigating. I believe it was the room that you were going to stay in with the psychic, and it was cool because the responses that she was getting, but I kind of liked where she was in a way like a human pendulum. So how she was getting her responses, and you can tell she was kind of like being forward or backwards. That's a yes and a no, which that to me already instantly kind of like caught me. But the responses that you were getting, so it appeared that the room was there was a female that was possibly pregnant or had lost the child. You hadn't quite uncovered that as far as in the episode that I had watched. And then there was a gentleman that was kind of like looking out for her.
Yeah.
And the way the psychic's faces was changing as she was going from the woman to the male. I mean, it distinguished who you were talking to, but it kind of felt, when she switched to the male, it almost felt like a sinister type of presence. Like it did not look like her at all. You saw the friendly demeanor as the woman, and then the giveaway was she kept like holding her stomach, but lower stomach, like how a woman that was pregnant was. So my question to you, and folks, please check this episode out. It's in Mike's YouTube channel, The Paranormal Road Trippers. The specific episode is called The Silver Queen Haunting a Psychic Overtaken by a Spirit. So I kind of wanted to get as far as, like, we saw the episode, kind of wanted to know what was your experience after the fact that everybody left. Merle's stuck there by himself.
Yeah.
So what experiences did you have after the fact?
Silver Queen Hotel. So yes, that happened after our space. So we like I said earlier, how we do like little spaced out radio conventions per se, like listener parties. So the psychic's name, she's amazing. Her name's Anae, and our friend Brad. They wanted to hang out with me because I was doing a solo mission. I was gonna go do my own thing for like 4 nights, like by myself. But then Anae's like, "Hey, can I tag along for a night or two?" And then Brad's like, "Can I come?" I'm like, "Absolutely." And so Silver Queen, Ghost Adventures have been there, Ghost Hunters have been there, Twin Paranormal, Ghost Club. Everyone stayed in this room.
Yeah.
And it used to be a brothel. It was a hotel, the classic Wild West stories, right? And so I get into the room, and A comes upstairs, and then like I didn't even start the camera yet, and she started popping off. I'm like, oh God, what is happening here? and Anae, she is one of the best psychics or mediums I have ever, in all of my time, have met. And just to see like her face changing, for me, like I even get creeped out thinking about it now, because she was so dialed into the spirits in there. It was amazing and terrifying to watch, like in person, because like when she turned to be when the male was talking through her, I'm like, oh God, is she gonna clock me? Because so Brad has the camera, and I'm low key in a defensive position, and just after it all happened, I was like, "Hey, what happened?" And she's like, "I don't know." And like the part I didn't film because we weren't even ready yet was when she went into the bathtub. She went right to the bed and was laying in the bathtub and talking as because one of the things that allegedly happened there was the lady, she took her life in the bathtub.
Okay.
And that's where it all started. And then I'm like, you can't really pause when a psychic or medium's communicating. You can't really be like, okay, stop, we got to redo, because it's not how it works.
Channeling,
yeah. And I got what I could on footage, and it was really, to me, it was very compelling. It just to watch all of this. And yeah, I stayed in that room alone with the light on that night.
No, you didn't.
I don't
blame you. You saw that lady's face?
Yeah. And then, so I don't remember if it's in the video or not, but like when the 3 of us left to go for dinner, we came back and there's an American penny, because we don't have pennies in Canada. It was bent. I still have it on my right here. It's bent.
Yeah,
like somebody bent it, and that was kind of creepy. And then so Anae is going to be meeting me in Virginia City this year in April, where we're going to do Mackie Mansion. and
I want to go
Washoe
there.
Club.
Yeah.
Like we're doing all of the Virginia City places with her taking the helm at the psychic
Mm.
part.
Nice.
That's awesome. I love watching like readings and stuff like that.
Yeah.
People see what they get. Yeah. I love all that.
Yeah,
That's
we
cool.
want to make a trip out there. We live only like 9 hours away, 8 hours or 9 hours away, and I want to go to all of the places out there.
Oh, I love it. I love
Oh
that.
man, I can't wait. One day, Jen and Armando will meet us out there.
I would love to go to Virginia City. Hell yeah. I mean, we were supposed to go that 1 year and I was like, no, I
Your
don't
spider
wanna
sense.
go. My Spidey sense kicked in.
If
I
you
don't know, I
plan
was
it-
so sketched about that flight that I freaking canceled. I had booked the hotel and everything.
Oh, wow.
So if you guys,
no.
yeah, I know. I would fly out there. That's 9 hours of drive. My butt would hurt. But if you plan it right, you can get like 3, 4 investigations in a 4-day span if you plan it.
So
Yeah.
we're investigating Silver Queen, Washoe Club, Mackie Mansion, and is there a fourth one? No, we have a night just to like not be a ghost hunter.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. What about the prison?
Oh,
It's too far from where we're on a time constraint. So
Is it far from there? From
ish. Ish.
Oh, I
So
didn't know that. Oh.
We're doing Virginia City from the 28th to the 1st, and then we're driving from Virginia City, gonna stop in Tonopah, and then Vegas. Like we're doing like that 6-hour drive just to
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Have you done the Goldfield?
I've done the Gold Hill. I haven't done the Gold Field. I would love to do the Gold Field.
It's big. It's a big location. Huge.
So I had an investigation on a silver platter. I was at the infamous Gold Hill Hotel. That's where Ghost Adventures started, like with the whole mine accident and all that stuff.
Mhm.
I had the haunted room. Nobody else was staying there.
Mhm.
The innkeeper or manager lived off site. So I had this place. I was alone for a night. No one else. I didn't have even a knock EVP. I just had a good sleep. I pulled out all the stops. I did everything that I was supposed to like get the ghosts and spirits' attention. I watched all of the videos from the other creators or ghost hunters that have been there. You know,
Maybe they're just tired.
Yeah.
He's like, no, we're gonna go to bed tonight.
sometimes
I traveled all the way from Canada for this,
Right.
and won't even say hi.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, you know, did you even say that?
Yes.
Yeah, sometimes they'll be like, I traveled really far to talk to you, and I'm like, man, we don't care.
Don't I sound funny down there? Do I sound funny to you guys? Do I have the accent? Yeah.
Oh, I hear the accent you talk.
Maybe they were bothering your neighbors next door or something. I don't
No
know.
one was there.
Oh, well, that's yeah.
Yeah.
You'd be like, nobody's coming.
Like, it's just this guy. Go to bed.
Nobody's coming tonight, and then you show up, and they're like already somewhere else. Oh man. That
Oh,
sucks.
well. But that's all part of that's par for the course with like paranormal investigating.
Yeah.
You can't always get evidence. Sometimes they don't want to talk, or sometimes they're not there, and we have to respect that.
Or they come like when you're about to leave is when that happens to us a lot. They get active
That's
more
when they're
later.
passive aggressive. Yep.
Yeah. They're like, no, you're not leaving anywhere.
Oh yeah. Or maybe they just show out like I said, like sometimes they know it's like sometimes they know you're filming.
Yeah.
And as soon as you turn off everything, something will go off and you're like,
it's kind of like Merle when he's in the forest and Sasquatch is there. It's quiet, but in that scenario, you fear for your life.
Yeah.
Yep.
In paranormal investigating, when it's that quiet, it's gonna be a long night.
Yep.
I feel like I watch you to see how you are, like what kind of person you are, and then they
too. Yeah.
She has a resting bitch face. Let's check her out first. Me.
I do.
So they're
Mike,
like, oh, wait.
Tell everybody what you got going on. What's your future? Where they can find you.
Yes.
We have a video coming out probably with by the end of this month of the Palace Hotel in Port Townsend, Washington. So that'll mark number 16 of documentaries. You can find us, the Paranormal Road Trippers, on Instagram, the Paranormal Road Trippers on YouTube, and the Paranormal Road Trippers on Facebook.
Nice.
And as for the website, ourhauntedheritage.com.
Exactly, Dan.
You need to have a camera on all the time. Yeah. Like literally, just have that body cam like running.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you forget you're in the bathroom.
Absolutely. Been there, done that.
Please
The
make
power of
sure
editing.
to like
you,
and
Dan.
subscribe to Mike. Mike has set us on our journey, and he's helped me out a lot. He's helped us out a lot. So definitely, we want you guys to show him the same love that he did. He gave a couple of investigators from Miami a chance to do this, and we're grateful to him. So we want to show him the same love. So please, everyone in the chat, if you get a chance to, please show Merle some love. Like and subscribe to his channel. Hit that notification button so that way you can find out when Merle's dropping a awesome video, just like he did with the Silver Queen. And everyone, please remember, if you want to get spooked, hit that notification bell, hit the like button. Please feel free to drop us a comment down below. Tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell grandma, stop watching Judge Judy and turn on Spooked Coast to Coast.
And 100%. Thank you guys for being on today. I know Super Bowl Sunday. I know people are going to catch their rewatch. Thank you guys also. Real quick, I know we didn't do this on air. Who do you think is going to win? Joy?
I don't fucking know. I'm not into football.
Pick one, red or green?
Oh, red, because I like red.
No? So KT, for you, how about you?
Sorry, Amanda, you're in green and I'm over here red. I don't know.
That's right. Merle's going for the Eagles. I know, but we had talked about this, I think, not on air. How about you?
If I had to bet
Mike,
money,
rock. There you go.
If I had to bet money, I bet the Chiefs. I wouldn't mind seeing the Eagles win, just because there's a player named Saquon Barkley that plays for the Eagles. He used to play for the Giants, and that's the second team since I made that promise. So I would like to see him, succeed and win. But if I had gun to my head, pick one of the two, it would be Chiefs.
Yeah, that was a Joey question. I don't know nothing about football.
Yeah, you can just choose.
I don't even know. I know. The only reason I know who's playing is because we mentioned it on the show the last couple weekends.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Eagles because Philly all day.
Is that red?
That's
green.
Green.
That's green.
That's where Pops is from. I don't blame you.
Yeah, my dad's from Philly, so I gotta go from.
Speaking of football, this Tuesday coming up, it may be the final episode that I will be on Packers Blitz, being that the season's over. So if you want to go ahead and check out Mr. 305 Mondo talk about football, you can go ahead and check me out with Andy and our good friend John from Dairyland Frights. You can check me out as well. I will be there. Tuesday, we're filming that episode, and I believe he drops it Tuesday night. So we'll be talking about Super Bowl, and they're going to be talking about the Green Bay Packers, and I will be talking about the Miami Dolphins and what we think is going to happen next year.
Yeah,
like sports. Go check it out. Check Mondo out in action.
Point. And everyone, please have a safe week. And we will catch you next Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mike, for being on. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
Mike, hold on. Don't leave yet. All right.
Yeah, don't leave yet, but
we're going to end the stream.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, y'all. Thank you, guys.
Yeah. Thank you.
Woo, woo, woo.